Hello, and welcome to season three, episode 28 of Quaint and Cozy KC. I am your host, Lainey Renee. I am back on the mend. I did get that little flu. I didn't get the worst of it. I kind of had, like, compared to what I'm hearing, I think I had kind of a mild case of it. I just slept a lot and I consumed a lot of water and I just hoped for the best, really, honestly. And so I got myself on the other side of it, thank goodness. And so I'm here. And so I had hoped to kind of do a show about like the kind of the cool things I was going to do on New Year's Eve as far as like, take myself out and on at lunchtime and take a walk, all that. That went out the window when my flu symptoms showed up. So again, happy to be here in 2026. It's been a wild ride so far. But I want to talk to you today about, just some updates, like little updates. I feel like I just spoke with you guys. I think my last show, I released it on Christmas Day. So it's been a little bit, but it hasn't been too long, thank goodness. But I went to Topeka like 2 days after Christmas. I saw my stepdad and my aunties. And then I was supposed to see a friend, and then she wasn't feeling too well. And so I'm like, okay, that's fine. And so I ended up meeting up with other friends once I got back to Kansas City. They were in town for a little bit. And so it was like a whirlwind time. But in that time in Topeka, I was able to go to Gage Park. Now you're thinking to yourself, if you're at Topeka and you're like, yeah, Gage Park. And well, I hadn't been to Gage Park, like really not just drive, because I'd driven past it a lot, but I have not set foot in that park since like maybe 2014, 2015, maybe. It's been a long time. And the last time I was at Gage Park, it did not look the way it looks right now. It is beautiful. I mean, it wasn't a horrible park, but it was very kind of like, a kind of a city park and there, a lot of traffic there. They weren't really thinking about landscaping back in the day, when I was going there as a kid or even as an adult when I go take walks and everything like that. It's very landscaped. It's really pretty there. So I ended up, I couldn't go all the way into Gage Park because I was like doing back-to-back meetings with people, but I was over there by the Bark Park that they have. So it's kind of like at the entrance. And then there's a beautiful like statue, kind of like and it's not just like it's a tall, but then it's kind of a memorial there. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. So I walked around there for a little bit. I took pictures. I took lots of video because, it was one of those unseasonably warm days. And so the sun is shining and then the leaves are kind of blowing gently, and there's still some leaves on the trees. Now they're a little more dried up probably than they were back in October and November, but they are still on the trees. And so I got some really nice shots of that. You can follow me on YouTube, Quaint and Cozy KC. I don't know if I've put all my Gage Park things up yet, but I had a really good time just kind of like walking around the path and taking pictures and taking video. And next time I go to Topeka, I'm definitely gonna, carve out more time to walk around. And I probably will also go and visit the zoo. I have not been to the Topeka Zoo since 2013, maybe. Maybe it's 2013. I think that's the last time I've been to the Topeka Zoo. So I'm like, you know what? I'm due for a trip to the zoo. And so I'm like, I've got that on my kind of Topeka list of things to do because I'll be doing more trips, and I plan on doing more trips to Kansas this summer coming up. Like kind of like, I did a lot of stuff in Missouri, but now I kind of want to go to Kansas and check out some of those things because there's places I have not been since I was really young. And some places I haven't been at all. Like I've driven past the truck stop. Like I've stopped on the edge of town at a truck stop, and that is as far as I've gotten, to explore the town. So I'm really excited. Um, to be able to do that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And so then after that, after my like quick foray into Gage Park, I went to Washburn because one of my aunties doesn't live too far away from there. And so I went to Washburn because I like was on that tight schedule, but I didn't want to come too early. I'm like, I got out of Gage Park a little earlier than I thought. But I'm like, I have about 20 minutes. So I walked around, part of the Washburn campus. And keep in mind, it was like Christmas break and all that. But it was a beautiful day. And it's a nicely scaped college campus. I've always liked the Washburn campus. That was kind of like the place that, we would go hang out. They were always having some kind of concert at White Concert Hall. They had like art, like an art gallery there as well. I think it was like the Mulvane. Um, And I didn't get to go inside the Mulvane, but I did. I was like the Mulvane Art Museum, but that's on my list because I haven't visited that place in a very long time. It's been a very long time. So it's beautiful. And I did capture that to when I get everything posted and all that stuff, you will be able to see kind of some shots of the Mulvane Art Museum. And so I just kind of like walked around, like I said, I kind of walked the periphery. I didn't do a deep dive into the campus because again, it was, school was out and I didn't have a ton of time. I had 20 minutes, so I kind of wanted to like, take video. And there was a place called White Concert Hall, and we used to go there all the time. I was like a theater music nerd person, and that was like our holy grail place. That was a place like anytime there was we were doing something really big, we would go to White Concert Hall and see other high school people or other performances or the Washburn uh students like perform things. That was like a big deal for us. I mean, listen, I had my special black pants and side pony ready to go all the time. Okay. Ready to go all the time for White Concert Hall. And so I was able to kind of go outside of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like they've changed so many things. I was like, oh my gosh, they've upgraded a lot of things over there. So it was kind of fun walking around and kind of like going down memory lane just a little bit. I do have plans, I'll return at some point and kind of do more of a thorough walking around the campus. But I did really appreciate getting that glimpse of Washburn University because I think it is a beautiful campus. And yeah, so okay. Now let's talk about some comfort because you know what? I don't know about you, but I could use a little comfort right now. And so I've got, I talk about my comfort watches and my comfort reads. So Madame Blanc is a show, and it's kind of like a fish out of water tale of a British woman moving to France, a small village in France, and just the characters she meets, and it's kind of like a who done it. Weekly who done it, but with a little bit of drama. So you kind of get to know the characters. There's character development going on. It's not something where they're just solving mysteries. And again, there's something wrong with those whodunits because I like those. I enjoy those as well. When I watch whodunits like those mysteries of the week, those are easy to put on while I'm working because I don't have to think too hard, right? Because it's pretty obvious who did it and whatever. I'm not really my mind's not engaged. It's just background noise. But for a show like this, like because there's so many nuanced things in this show. I'm like, I cannot have this on it back as background noise. I have to watch it. So what I've been doing, some pops of luxury I've been doing is I am a subscriber to PBS, and you can do that from I think the sliding scales from like $5 up. And so I subscribe to PBS monthly, and they've got all kinds of shows on there, and Madame Blanc is one of them. And so the first two seasons are on PBS, so I have been just slowly savoring. I watched like two episodes. I started off with one episode a day, but then I was like, okay, I need a little bit more than that. And I saw there were two seasons, so I'm like, okay, that's about like I think 12 episodes or so, or maybe a little bit more, maybe 16 episodes. But um so I was like, okay, I've got to do two a night. So I'm up to two episodes a night, and I'm almost done with the second season. Now, PBS has the first two seasons on there. And so I was looking around because Acorn TV has got all the seasons, I believe. But I'm like, I don't want to have to commit to another streamer. And I also have BritBox, and I do watch BritBox as well. So then I went on to Hoopla. Okay, I'm going to take you on to Hoopla. That is what my library uses. Now, everybody's library, public library, wherever you live, you might have Libby, Hoopla, um, and I'm not sure of any of the other ones. I'm trying to think of like the other ones you might have. But so Hoopla has TV shows. And I looked on there and they've got season three of Madame Blanc. So I'm like, okay, I'm covered. Now, eventually I might actually have to join Acorn for maybe a couple months and kind of, like to finish that. But I'm really trying to not do that just because the more streamers you set yourself up with, in my opinion, the more like it's like either you're kind of like, okay, I'm not going to go anywhere, so I'm just going to binge watch these shows, or you kind of find yourself you're running around doing things and then you're not watching it and you're not really getting your money's worth. So I'm kind of like I'm going to slowly savor season three when that comes up on Hoopla. But Hoopla's a great place for all kinds of TV shows. So maybe there's a TV show, a foreign one, you're like, oh my gosh, Hoopla might have it. Like check it out, and it's free. It's through your library. Okay. So that's again something to kind of think about when you're doing your comfort shows. And there are a couple other comfort shows I was looking to kind of get, but right now I'm like, let me just concentrate. on, Madame Blanc, and I'm on the last season of Sister Boniface. So I'm like, okay, season four, I'm on that. I don't think season five, they don't have one yet. But so I'm like, I'm trying to savor those as well. I'm hoping to be able to kind of like, there's a couple other shows, Shakespeare and Hathaway, that I'm watching as well. Those are on BritBox. So I'm kind of like, savoring my comfort shows as much as I can. And sometimes you can find things that are on YouTube, like the channel, like whatever channel that is producing a said show might have it on YouTube as well. So again, something to kind of think about for comfort. And everyone's got streamers these days, and I've got streamers for different kind of things, like my BritBox streamer, my PBS. Those are my comfort shows. That's kind of what I do. Then the other show, like the other ones that I have, aren't necessarily comfort shows per se. They're just something that I can put on in the background, like when I'm working or if I'm doing housework and I've kind of got my TV on or my laptop on or something like that. I can sort through things, and I'll talk a little bit more about sorting, a sorting project I have, and as I kind of listen to what's going on. Okay, we are moving away from the streamers now, and I'm going to talk to you about vision boarding. Now, I know it's the beginning of 2026, and you're probably like thinking, oh my gosh, another vision board thing. Well, so two things. Depending on what your time and your budget are, there's a lot of people probably in your area that are doing vision boarding workshops where you can kind of go. And I don't know, some people are charging you from 20 to like $50. You go and they give you the supplies and you can sit there, with a group of people, your friends. You can book like a vision boarding party and with your friends and kind of go out. And some of them have mimosas. Some of them, it's like a brunch thing. It's an event, like however you want to do it. It's always, I always have fun when I'm hanging out with my friends doing a project. I did this last year. I went out with friends and did it. But this year is a little bit different for me because the way I'm doing my vision boards are a little bit different. So instead of doing one big board, and that actually did help me last year. I got a lot of the stuff done. I would say I got about 75 to 80% of the things accomplished. This time I'm going to break things out. I've got different categories and I want to break those out. So I'm going to actually do my own. I'm going to order one online and then I'm probably split it with my sister or somebody like that. Um, and so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have like maybe four or five 8 by 11, which is like the size of like printer paper. It's like does anybody print or like standard like notebook paper, something like that. I'm going to go ahead and do all those things. It's going to be more of an involved project. But yeah, vision boarding, I highly recommend going. And if you want to do that, or if you want to just do your own vision boarding party, if your schedule's kind of weird and it's hard to get everybody together, for an outside third party one, maybe you just kind of host one in your house or something like that, or go to a coffee shop and tip well. And then, or you know what, you could probably even go and use a library meeting room. If you guys can do it like during the library hours, like during an afternoon, sometimes like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, that might be a fun place. And I know you'll clean up after yourself if you're doing it. That might be a fun way to spend a couple hours in there, just doing your vision stuff. Okay, so I'm leaving the vision board and I'm gonna start talking to you about a photo. So my home project, and I think with everything going on in the world, some of the things that they're going on, there's a lot, the world's changing all the time, moment to moment, right? And so sometimes it's easy to get anxious about things and whatever. What I'm finding, what's really helping me is that I've got so many things. I bought my house during the pandemic, so I've got so many projects that I've slowly been working on. And then after I bought my house, within a year, I was in a master's program that I've finished a few years ago. But it's hard to believe I've been done for almost 3 years. I'm like, 3 years? What? Um, but like so I'm like, okay, now I've got these home projects, these small little projects that I just need to do, and the photo sorting is one of mine. So I have all of these photo albums that I got from my mom's house, my dad's house, like even like I think one of my grandma's, like all these photos, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go through these and sort them out. And I know that back in the day we just threw everything in an album and just there you go. But we wouldn't know where anything was. And so now with the age of digital, my plan is to sort everything out by like, okay, so these are the people on my dad's side, these are the people on my mom's side, and then I'm just throwing everything into a Google Drive, and then I'm just going to certain Google Drives, and then I'm just going to like send, give access to like a couple people. that, like the other family historian people, because we all have family historians. I happen to be my family historian. Um, so that's kind of like the plan. That is like literally the plan to do that. So I'm going to be spending, I'm hoping to get everything done in the next month. And that's just going to really involve, taking an hour here, an hour there, and just being intentional with it. Like the first phase of it was to get everything out of the the photo albums. And I had a gift card, so I went to Home Goods and I have some photo boxes, like the big kind, to put photos in and stuff. And so that's kind of like once I get everything separated out, I'm going to put them, one for my dad's side and one for my mom's side in each of those boxes. And then I'm just going to like make a plan to do about 25 photos a week, something like that. And, do something like that so that I can slowly be putting them in and getting them kind of scanned into the drive and everything. And so that way, people can access it and then they can, download it as they see fit. And then that's, I'll be done with that and I'll be able to just kind of get rid of the albums, like put them someplace, and then just have the pictures kind of like in loose leaf form for now. And then after I put everything in digital things, who knows? Maybe what I'll do is because I don't want to go out and buy new albums, just because I'm like I have some, and I'm really trying to be good about not buying things when I already have something. I might just have to like throw a label maker on there and be like, okay, this is like do it by year, like childhood, college years, like all that stuff. So again, that's a probably a project for like that's probably the final phase of that project. But I'm excited to kind of finally get this done. This has been on my list for years, and I'm always like, I got to do that. And then do I do it? No. So I'm excited to finally kind of get organized with the photos. And so that's my main home project. And then after that, it's my basement. And it's not horrible down there because I got rid of a lot of stuff, but there's still furniture that needs to be like old broken furniture that needs to be hauled out. And I want to kind of declutter things and like have a party. I'm kind of thinking about what kind of party, like some kind of swap party thing where people who need this that I have, maybe they've got something I need, something like that. So I can kind of like be getting rid of things. Just slowly just getting things as decluttered as possible. Like I decluttered my living room and it wasn't horrible or anything like that, but I had all of these totes filled with pictures and albums and all that stuff. So I'm like, I got to get these out. And the only way to do that is to kind of go through and organize the pictures. So I'm excited about that photo project. And I hope whatever home project you have that you are excited about as well. And also, I'm also really excited. Like one of the vision board things I'm going to do is has to do with my house because there's some minor repairs that I need to do that if I just like, I have them written down, but I think putting the visuals there will really kind of help me to stay on track and get the things done. So yeah, that's kind of like what I've been doing in this new year, just getting things set up and ready to go because I do have some serious, resolutions as far as like seeing more things in Kansas City. And I saw a lot of things last year. I mean, I saw a lot of things. And so I'm excited to just kind of, as I said in my last episode, I'm excited to do the same thing. I mean, there are things that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to actually visit that. And then I forget. And then something else catches my eye. So I'm really being more intentional about getting to see the things. Like I'm really eyeing the Olathe Car Museum because I've been saying I'm going to go there for years. I've sent other people to the car museum. I'm like, oh, you should check it out. Have I gone to the car museum? No, I haven't. And so that is something that's kind of on my list. Same with the Nerman. There's like an art gallery on the Johnson County Community College uh, campus. Have I been there? No, I have not. I've been to the campus, but I haven't been to the museum. But I'm always telling people, oh my gosh, you got to check that out. And so I'm here to kind of like practice what I preach and be more intentional about things. So that is my show. If you want more information about me, you can go to quaintandcozykc.com. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook under Quaint and Cozy KC. I hope that you are doing well and that you're getting your Quaint and Cozy KC lists going on together for things, local things or maybe beyond that you kind of want to see. And it doesn't have to be difficult and it doesn't have to be expensive. You just have to figure out where you want to go and what your budget is, and then just kind of set it in motion. Okay, take care, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.